All right, today, November 20th? I'm not sure, 21st? Could be my ex-wife's birthday. These are my two loyal cats. Well, actually, this one's loyal. Cutting. Yeah, she responds. Jiro. He does not respond because, I don't know, lights are not all on upstairs, as the expression goes. Um, this one's sharp as hell, though. This cat is sharp, knows her name, loyal, stood by me when I was down and out. The whole world turned its back on me. Even a lowly cat will just stand by her side because she's got no other choice. Anyway, today topic, of course, is not that. It's just I'm gonna talk about the so-called Project White Clover, which I declared it has officially been transferred to Project Asphalt because I cannot imagine any realistic way in which, through several weeks of, the good thing is, burn calories, build muscle, but it's exhausting. And to think that next summer, the same fucking problem is just going to come back over and over again. AI has actually said that, yeah, some exercise benefit, but really, if you were, as I always wanted to, convert this entire land, put asphalt over it, it would serve you a lot better. Not only do your weed problems go away permanently, asphalt, if not trampled upon by heavy vehicles, will last 10, 20 years, Asphalt, do people think about asphalt? Because I just thought it's fascinating that asphalt, this layer that they use on roads, as common as it may be, is expensive. Asphalt has more than tripled in price over the last 30 years, according to an asphalt expert, contractor. Of course, we can't really see the full picture because there's inflation packed in that. But even the last 10 years, he says the price has at least doubled. A lot of it due to the fact that asphalt is using oil, petroleum, I don't know, something to do with oil. And as the price of oil goes up, so does asphalt. But I'm not sure if everyone's aware of this, but asphalt is a pretty nice material. I find it to be fascinating. I mean, if you look at it closely, it's some kind of like heated, compacted, crushed rock, gravel with some mixtures. I don't know. I don't have to dive into that. We just know the properties of asphalt is that it's impermeable. As you can see, zero weeds ever grow. They do find their ways into the cracks and stuff. But as for the surface itself, no. Asphalt has different layers, different thicknesses. Believe for roads, it's at least 5 to 10, even more. Beneath that is a foundation of just crushed rock, gravel, I would assume. They call it RC40. Same material, I think, used in concrete. And for roads, because it has to withstand extremely heavy loads, the depth goes very deep. I mean, I think it's far more than a residential parking lot would ever require. The wear and tear of it, I mean, you can see the patched areas of asphalt. They do construction, whatever. Anyway, my idea, which I just, it's nice to just think sometimes, just outside, take a walk. What is the cost of turning this entire land into asphalt? You see, this is where AI excels. Instead of searching it, measuring yourself, from the image, it will derive quickly, or if you have a floor plan is fine too, or a land plan, whatever you want to call it. It will calculate it's 165 meters squared. That's nice to know. Gives you one number to go upon. Then it will estimate based on the web information just out there, the average cost per meter squared. Give you a rough estimate cost. There's overheads on this and that. You know, the rough number came up was in between 6,000 to 10,000 yen per meter squared. So looking at about, could be 100, what is it? 1 million yen to do it, which is reasonable. For something that lasts like 10 to 20 years, it's an investment. The other crazy factor, it will confidently say, barring some kind of shock to the oil price, that asphalt will never be cheaper than it is today. So if it is in the future to ever do asphalt, doing it next year will cost you more money. So it's funny how we negotiate prices so heavily, not knowing that if you do it today, bite the bullet today, you will save money. In retrospect, if I had asphalted this land when this building was built, today I could have saved at least $6,000 USD. It wouldn't have been expensive. The land had already been excavated. And at that point, with all the workers on site, it would have been really easy to do this. But I chose not to. And this is how you pay for it later. And the thing is, I had the funds, but I didn't have like that many funds left. Yet the app was still selling. I just didn't want to go into debt. That's it. Had my parents backed me, I could have. See, I mean, that's the thing, right? If you timing, we make people work hard to make money every day, but with projects like this, when the way money moves around the world, the timing of a purchase or a sale can influence the outcome by such a large amount. It is insane. In any case, if one were to factor in the benefits of exercising every day, as I like sports, I like dribbling a basketball, playing tennis, pickleball, how exciting could be easily put there. The idea is to asphalt it, to reserve spaces for fence posts. I believe fence posts are, if you look here, if I'm not mistaken, a structure like a fence like this, the base of it is driven deep into the ground, and I think concrete mix is added around it to solidify the connection with the area around it, the soil or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. They have a way of affixing that post. Provides structural rigidity. The linked fence is one of the strongest, it will withstand typhoon speeds of like 60 meters per second or more because it does not act like a sail. Wind mostly passes through. I believe that the quote was like, it is roughly like 1/10 of the load that a solid surface would encounter. That's a drastic amount to have 10, so basically a typhoon of 60 meters per second, you get 1/10 of the wind load if you have a linked fence, and a linked fence is very effective at stopping balls, tennis balls, whatever. So it's ideal surface. The material is galvanized steel, widely used. It is called dobuzuke in Japan. Galvanized steel is it's wonderful because like here, the bracket here, I remember was galvanized steel. It just doesn't rust. And because Okinawa is high in salt everywhere, like it's close to the ocean. So my idea would be to put fence posts around here, and then every X meters, I don't know what the structural requirements are, to the south, and to the east, and to the north, a C shape for 1, 2, 3, enclosing it. Entry to the asphalted area would be through this opening, and asphalt would actually run all the way to the concrete wall. I didn't think that would be I was hoping to have but then you realize this will happen again, the weeds, and it'll look ugly, and there'll be ants, and the AI was even saying some people perceive asphalting as anti-nature, but he said, look, it's 165 meters squared. Nature has a lot more to work with. It's not even a significant amount to nature at all. Plus, I want to keep these trees. 2 people have already said, why don't you uproot them? I'm like, no way. I love this tree. This tree is personally significant to me. The AI also convincingly said, without a doubt, you will never regret asphalting your land. The only issue is money. People regret only destroying things that had significance, like a tree that meant something to them that you would regret. But generally speaking, having the land like this is just entropy zone. Convert it. If you just convert to asphalt, did nothing on it, at least it's no longer an entropy zone. And if you did sports on it, now it's an activity zone. According to the AI, you model it that way. The benefits of this purchase, could you even call it a purchase? It's more like an investment in a way, would be enormous. The health benefits, enormous. The fact that maybe in the future kids can play on it and have sports on it, enormous. So when I knew this in my mind by just making this video. I've calcified it almost, that there's no reason to save the money. If every year the cost of asphalt is increasing, and it's not because of some like fucking cartel, it's just because of the way of the world. Every year my savings are depreciating, unless you put them into, stocks, gold, whatever. Asphalting it today is the only logical choice. And it'd be exciting. The only issue is how expensive is it going to be? Because if it drives over 200, like forget it. I can't do it. I got to live, I got to survive, I got to feed myself. But anything reasonable within reason, I'm like, if it's under 100, a no-brainer. Insta, just go right at it. And I will do my best to negotiate, and they even told me how to, be professional with contractors. Don't be an asshole. Don't be know-it-all. Don't be like, this and that, and don't act too excited. Don't, and these are really simple rules to follow. And I just did that, and I think both sides were. It's good. It's just they want business. They want money. They don't want to rip you off. I was very happy that the contractor was very proud of their asphalt work, so much so that they would want to show me their previous works. And I learned a lot about asphalt yesterday, different methods of different materials they can use. And asphalt is used in basketball courts, outdoors. They're used tennis courts, even tennis courts, U.S. Open. These are asphalt bases with acrylic paints over it. Those are the expensive parts. The customized, or the more like with colors and certain properties of like rebounds and stuff. Those are really specialized. But the base is still asphalt. Asphalt is, I think, pretty cool. I appreciate asphalt, is what I want to say, and concrete too is a marvelous material. Concrete is just, I don't know what to say about concrete. Concrete is it's magical. Concrete, I sound like crazy, right? Like the guy in Serious Man saying, just look at the parking lot, right? But there is validity in that. Like, if you stop to think about certain things, simple things, it's so easy to overlook the miracle that it was produced. I just can't not see it that way. You know what I mean? Like, that weeds they serve a purpose. It's the nature's SOS system. When you expose land that does nothing, nature fills it with something. And weeds are actually the first line responders. I love the way they say it. They're first line responders to excavated land, bare land. Nature abhors barren land for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. And it will just fix it up. And weeds are the first ones there. They're tough, resilient. But moreover, they prep the area for future growth. Forests, trees, it takes time, but it will happen. And because they decompose, and it's like a natural ecosystem, it's like the way of nature healing the land. And I just think that's marvelously, like, it's mystical, magical. In Japanese they say shinpiteki. I just think it's incredible. But because I think that's chaos, and nature's kind of the chaos element of it, and I want order here. The neighbor here suggested asphalt, and I'm gonna go with asphalt because I'm pretty sure about it. And the question is funds and the ability to move a project forward. So, in summary, project white clover, which is still gonna happen on a smaller piece of land up there. But this will be, it would be pretty neat if it could be made into a kind of a semi-playground. And that's it for today.